Copyright 2017 Win Your Brand. All rights reserved. This video is subject to copyright owned by Win Your Brand. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this video is expressly prohibited, unless Win Your Brand has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved.
So, how many of you remember what happened yesterday? The learning, which we have here.
There was a lot of learning yesterday.
Do you remember all of them? Do you remember any of them?
Yes.
Other than the Macarena? Okay. So what we'll do right now is I would like to have you in group, maybe a group of 3. And we have outside a selection of the relevant posts which we discussed yesterday. And I believe there are four different stations. So I would like to go for you to go as group of 4, as a group of 3, in front of each one, and allow yourself like 5 minutes to discuss among yourselves. Each one of you will reflect to the other groups, to the other 2 individuals, what they have, how they felt about this particular learning. And you'll have 2 learning on each station. So each station outside has 2 learning. You will have group of 3. So we have 4 stations outside. Each one has 2 learning. We will have group of 3. Okay. So each one of these 3. Why you laugh? Actually, we should make all of them like this, because we don't know. Like, I know these 3 ladies would like to go with each other.
The question mark on.
And what I want you to do is I want you to share and reflect on these learnings to the other group. And I want you to time yourself. So within half an hour, you should be able to finish the 4. 5 minutes each means
5 minutes each.
20 minutes. That's right. And the total 5 minutes of transition. To keep, do you understand what the exercise right now? To keep stuff on time, we would like to elect a leader per group to be the timer. So he can time, each one will be like 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, then 2-minute discussion among the 3 of you. Or however you want to do it. You want to make it 6 minutes, make it 6 minutes. Each one 2 minutes. The point is we want to have the whole exercise to be finished in 30 minutes. So we can come back and reflect. And this is when which is a technique I learned, that if you apply any fun event live, you should do that. You should allow your audience to talk among themselves, okay? To reflect their personality, to tell how you reflect, how they understand these particular learnings. The second element of this particular exercise is you can remind yourself, you can take notes, you can remind yourself with what you have been seeing outside. Okay? You understand this point? Any questions?
What do you mean by seeing outside?
What you'll see outside here on these 4 stations,
Oh, okay.
it will remind you with what happened yesterday. Each one of you had a brand promise sheet, that's right? Did you have a brand promise sheet? I want you to take the brand promise sheet with you. Did you have one? I want you to take the brand promise sheet with you and fill at least 2 more actions that you can do or you like to do based on what you learned yesterday, the discussions we had yesterday, the refreshment of today. You should be able at least to find out 2 more actions. And as I say, I don't want to make it a competition. That's the one who will get the more actions, will get a prize at the end of the workshop. However, you can feel more than 2 if you feel like it. If each one with you resonate, with Kevin, connect with Marcel, he will help you. If each one of you resonated well with what happened yesterday, did you find the value in every single sheet we had here yesterday? Almost every single sheet? Okay. Why did you find value? Because it's either something you didn't know you learned, or something you knew before and you may adjust your knowledge around it, or something you knew and you had approval now, or you have confirmation that what you know is the right thing, that's right? This is why we resonate well with these sheets. So we had about 16 sheets yesterday. There's only 8 of them outside, so almost half, or the most valuable part will be, I believe in it. So you must have at least 1 action per sheet. Okay? At least you have 2 actions. Any questions? So can you organize yourself into groups and tell us who are the leaders of each group?
And then you'd like us to rotate, right?
Yep. You rotate.
So a minimum of 2 actions?
Yeah, put more. I can get you more sheets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Mike, you're the leader.
Okay. Us 3.
No, they need some sheets. They need some.
Marcel is very experienced.
Okay, so we come back at 10 to 10.
These 2 guys, because they weren't here yesterday, maybe Marcel's best to program it.
I'll move the stands right into
Can I have another one of those sheets?
Okay, so we're supposed to be here at 10:10. Okay, you came late. You came early. I don't know why. Are you done with outside?
I think you said 10 to 10.
10:10. We
did
had
our
30
5
minutes.
on each one.
We did
had a
6
timer.
minutes on each.
Wow.
There was even
Obviously, you
5
didn't
instead
teach
of
us
4,
much.
so.
Okay, if you are happy, it's okay. If you're happy.
We left here at 9:30 plus 24 minutes. That meant, you know, we were
Yeah,
5 minutes early.
good. I'm happy. So, what was your experience? Like, if someone wants to share his experience when he went back today.
It's nice to be able to review with others because you don't always see the same points that they saw, and so it gives you a new insight.
Wow.
Also, we missed some things, you know, we didn't remember, so with the teamwork, you know, we recall the things, you know, so that way.
Wow. Can I hear more feedback? Refresher?
We could not read your handwriting.
Sorry?
We have to send you for some scripting first.
It was awesome trying to
That was
navigate the
Well,
translation.
that was
It's like,
best
what was that?
I think without my notes, there's some of this stuff I wouldn't have figured out because it was just letters.
Are you okay, Marcel?
There it
You need
goes.
help? I can send somebody.
Tuck and roll.
You break it, you take it.
No, it's okay.
Tuck and roll.
But I like the
McCaffrey.
process.
Yep.
I really like the process.
Yep, the process. So, because Shamir asked the question, can you elaborate more? What you heard from this experience, from these primary individuals, I appreciate her individuals because her experience, because she is doing so many of these events. So she reflects. She said, "Yeah, it's refresh. I can learn from others." So when we go back and say, how can or what can we do to be able to lead in adult learning? No matter what you do in adult learning, is an adult which is more than 35 years plus old. It's not even 18, okay? Here we talk about people who are just past 2-3 years after you finish your last degree, he will come to be an adult because you are not connected anymore to the body of knowledge education. So learning from each other is one of these learning techniques. Subgrouping and having a leader to the cohort, they call it cohort, usually it's 8 or sometimes 6, sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 4, and have a leader, and the leader is the facilitator. If you do just a group without a leader, it will be called peer-to-peer education. So I remind myself with these models because I've been a professor for 22 years, so I like to teach. Adult learning is not about teaching. It's more about your experience. What did you learn? How you can learn from each other. Okay? I cannot elaborate more. I can elaborate more on the other types of 44. However, I believe this will answer your question.
Yeah, no, I guess I didn't connect the what you're saying with what we did out there, because that's interactive programs. This is where group participation comes in play and all that, versus just teaching. So I in my mind I had that while you were talking, I'm having a conversation. I'm saying, well, I don't know if that's something, but now you clarified. So
Yep. One very important thing you should ask yourself every time: why I do what I do? Like, what is the reason for it? Why do we need to have handout? Why do we need to have workbooks? Why do we need to have action sheets? If you can figure out why you do what you do, you will be in a better position to do more and do better ways. If you lose your why, and please don't go to any workshop finding your why, okay? Because they will not tell you what to do after you find your why. So, yes, true. Like, how many workshops around here to find your why?
Mm-hmm.
And then what will happen?
You walk away and
You go to the second workshop to find your why. And you go to the third workshop. And I asked one of these individuals who went like 6 or 7 of these workshops, like, how different your why is. He said, like, each workshop has different why because the process is different. So, okay, so how many of you had actions written outside? Do you want to share with us your actions? The three, you want to share with us your actions?
So these are additional from yesterday?
What about sharing all the actions?
Okay, so my first action yesterday was to learn about the 4 quadrants, because I've never seen that before. My second action was look for ways to model communication. So for myself to model the communication better, whether it's through handouts or whatever, but that's my way. Practice the 3 F's. I found that will be something that will be really beneficial for myself. Always ask for the sale.
Wow.
And then 5 messages on the website for retainment and getting people to come back and all of that.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so you may need another sheet because you
I
may.
will.
Yeah, so I'll give you another sheet so you can keep adding more actions.
Thank you.
You know, and we don't have a competition yet, but we may end up having competition tomorrow to see how many. And for each one of these actions, you have a deadline. That's right.
Yes.
Yes. And you have a checkpoint where you may want to make sure you have.
Yes. Yes.
That's awesome.
Sorry, what's the checkout date again?
The checkout date means a checkpoint where you wanna somebody to maybe give you a call, or you wanna put it in your calendar to make sure you are doing your progress toward the completion date.
it's actually the check-in route.
The check-in date. So somebody to check out with you to see if you already on course, meeting the timelines, so you can finish.
Also, so it's feedback from someone out.
It can be a feedback from someone, and for people who likes to do stuff after there are individuals who just like to skip deadlines. So you wait, and when the deadline will click, you start to do things. That's right.
Well, and some of them are ongoing too, right?
If it's
Because you're going to be revisiting it and re-looking at it as you go along.
These should be actions which have a deadline to complete.
It's recurring,
So-
you put in the next one with the next date.
Yeah, you can record the second one with the second date if you like.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Okay, And as I say, we know the rules and we break it. We don't necessarily break the rule. We basically adapt our own version of how we apply this rule. That's right.
Yeah.
Like we say, we need to have pricing. Each one has its own pricing. Why? Because each one has his own rules. Okay. Anybody found a value to copy one of Deirdre's actions? So you can steal somebody else's actions. Okay. If you find, you can steal somebody else's actions. Okay. Who wants to share next? Yeah. Go, Karen.
So I've got my editing for my book that I mentioned yesterday. Then I have my my talk on speaking at the divorce symposium. So I want to create my talk.
What symposium?
Divorce symposium.
So do they sell new husbands there? Can I buy?
I'm not too sure. I've never been before. It's the first one in Calgary.
It's a very weird name.
Send me a link.
I know.
You see, you see.
I think it's people who are thinking about divorce or have gone through divorce. But I'm speaking about love.
Oh, okay.
So I'm very excited.
So when is this workshop? When is this symposium?
It is in May.
May. Wow, very interesting.
I'll let you know.
No, I'm not planning to divorce again.
No, I mean, you just never know.
Yeah, you know,
She has a
one.
divorce magazine.
Yeah, I know the divorce magazine. Yeah.
So, and the people who are in the divorce magazine are accountants and lawyers and
Tinder booth.
you never know.
Yeah. And this is something which is we always talk about is
Emotional intelligence. Right?
this is something which we always talk about is
Absolutely.
The worst are thinking about divorce. Yeah, that's good. Oh, you're new here. Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Well,
This is
when
when
I had one in Edmonton. There's 150 people.
wow.
Yeah.
This is when you promote
That's like
negative
one of the
stuff. So
causes, I think.
And my next action is to complete my podcast site by Tuesday.
wow.
What happens if your wife's sitting in the row beside you?
Exactly.
What?
You're too.
No, yeah, we support lots of people during and after divorce, without like me and my wife.
It's about
And
transition.
there is a single mingle and there is a divorce single mingles, and me and Roya will go and attend.
Yeah.
And people will just laugh at us because some of them they know we are married, and some of them like, how come you are here? Like who came first? And no, say like we are just coming to support the venue, and we go and we talk to different people, and we just to support, because sometimes you don't have a choice when you start early on in your life, and
You
we
get
need to
picked
support
up
this.
on it.
Yeah, so I understand that, but what it really bothers me sometimes is they tell you, let's run for a cancer. So we have a run for a cancer.
We're promoting it.
Yeah, you promote cancer or you promote cancer treatment. So there is nothing called run for a cancer. There is nothing called divorce symposium. Like, I don't know.
I get it.
You know, so this is why.
That's
It's
why
not
I'm
a
on there to
supportive
promote
divorce.
love.
Anyway, okay, so that's an awesome actions. Who else wants to share? Ahmed, you want to share?
Yeah, I said that I will apply the knowledge into transformation, so whatever I'm getting from here. So, second was that work more on my 4 quadrants to know more people, how to approach them according to their quadrant. Third one, today I wrote that I will ask friends about my weaknesses and strengths, to know my weaknesses through other sources. And another last action I wrote that I will work to master control on my weaknesses.
That's awesome. Mike, do you want to share?
No.
Okay.
Sure. Action 1 is to provide a list of programs of what I teach, because I decided to break it out in programs from what I learned from you. Another action is to detail each program. Another action is to delegate what I'm weak at. And another action is to ask more questions of more people.
Awesome.
That's good. That's good. Christine, do you want to share?
Yeah,
If anybody doesn't want to share, it's okay. Mike doesn't want to.
No,
no, I'm okay. I'm okay.
I just want to go last.
Oh my God.
So it's just to be familiar with the 4 quadrants. So to ask people, what did they do yesterday, so I can just get in my mind where they're at, understand that better. Committed to reading the Freedom Frequency book and learn more about that. To review my strengths and to put them into the 3 M's, and also to review my weaknesses, just to get a better understanding where I'm at, both strengths and weaknesses. And that might ignite sort of a passion where I want to go down the road if I do something with regards to entrepreneurship.
Love it. I love it. I love it. And Mariana, you want to share?
Yeah, I'm gonna review my website to see if all 4 quadrants are represented, and fill out the benefits for my program, also according to the 4 quadrants. And then I wanna distill my strengths and have a look and see how that fits in, and mitigate my weaknesses.
That's awesome. Okay, Mike, you wanna share now?
Yeah. Find ways to refer customers, or gain referral customers, reach retired and returning customers.
That's good. That's good. Anyone else who feel he wants or she wants to share? Okay.
So for my mastermind group, I'd like to use the group breakout, like what we did. I'm gonna steal that from you.
You know what? Anything I do, you can copy it. We don't steal. You can copy it, and if you want to even make it better, you can we can have a meeting or a chat or any kind of things. And I would love to discuss anything I do, so I learn from you to make it better for me. And if I help you, as I was telling Sandy the other day outside, I feel so empowered by somebody take what I believe is the right path and applied and reach his message through my technique. It gives me fulfillment. So anytime you see anything around here you want to use, just let us know, because I have to warn you, when I'll give you the workbook, the other workbook, I will share with you a few things, but some of the stuff we do are actually copyrighted to us, and we aggressively pursued 3 people against us right now in court. So we are, and when I came to this business of coaching people, I'm serious about it. So when people copy stuff and they don't refer to us, we have lawyers to take them to court, because that's why. So copyright and stuff, we respect this for others, and we expect others to respect it for us. So yes, you cannot copyright music. That's right. It's the same with anything and everything we do. Okay, that's awesome. Praveen, can you share with us your experience of listening to the feedback of others? Like, you listen to few people around their work, their actions. Can you tell us what you feel about? What's your experience? Just listening to the feedback, to their actions.
I find it interesting that
In what sense?
people have a lot of different life experiences and motivations, and the way things are interpreted. It's really interesting how people get different things out of the same information that you're providing. Because I'm personally, I'm looking from one filter, one way of, and I'm extracting some information. Whereas when I'm in a group and I'm listening, wow, I see it from that perspective, and that perspective, and that perspective, and they're different.
And this exactly, and we did not plan this discussion. I did not plan it. I did not tell him what to say. But this is one of the biggest outcome of the group learning in adult information, is it broaden your view and how you observe and how you perceive the information, because you see some other perceptions around the table. So I appreciate, I don't know how you came up in synchronized with what I had in mind to say, but I love what you said.
But electronics, they provide us, but telepathy unites
One thing that I find interesting with Christine in our group is that she's not a business owner. So I'm actually listening to her responses from a client perspective, because she has no idea, she has no awareness of our selling strategies and what we've come about. So her perception and her reception is key to how I deal with the people on the other side of the table.
Yep. And this is a firm one sheet outside where we talked about words, actions, what happen, will be received. Oh, I shouldn't have this one here. Will be received, perceived, you have repetition and iterations, and then you retain. And this is how people understand. And there's no relationship between these two sides. That's right? This is one of the posts outside. So, although the source is the same, but it's your mind, your mental capacity, your mindset. Mental capacity does not mean that's anything bad, okay? Mental capacity, that's, oh, you know, I remember now I left the rice on the stove and it will burn, so my mind is in the home or somewhere else, okay? So mental capacity, when this action happens, this is what you can make it, and then you can repeat and iterate. Dedri said something very interesting. Actually, many of you talk about the 4 quadrants. And the question to you is, if I will invite you or I will try to sell a workshop on the 4 quadrant of human behavior, will you guys sign up to such a title of a workshop?
What is it?
4 quadrant of human behavior. Will you sign up for such a thing?
I would.
Yeah, you said it's pretty valuable.
Nobody will sign.
No.
Because it has no benefits. Knowing the quadrant, and this comes to the point we talk about benefits versus features. So when I position the quadrant and what's my strengths, who I represent, and how can I communicate with others within a framework of a benefit to push your relationship better, to have a better business, to increase your revenue, to make more money, it will be acceptable and say, wow, this is new, I didn't hear about that, I want to learn more about it. But if I stand and show you, or I market a workshop on quadrants, people will not, it is very hard, people will not go to these workshops because it has no benefit for them. After you've seen it, you may decide, but just give it a second thought. Like, so if few of you agree or some of you agree on what I said, map this to your business. Don't market what you do. Market the benefit of what you do. When you pick up a title for a function, don't say, I will tell you who are you. Doesn't matter. But I can show you how to master your brand, and part of it to who are you and who are others and how you can qualify them. Okay? Any more discussions or questions? Yes, sir.
So could it be about quadrants, but how quadrants can help your business?
Yeah, you weren't here. I will touch base on that, but you weren't here for that, so you may heard about it a little bit outside. So Joel, how's your experience so far?
Today or overall?
Overall. Today, like today, overall today.
Overall today. Overall.
So Joel actually is part of a company which is inside our program. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall today's been pretty good. A lot of the models I've seen you used before, so it's a refresher. But it's always nice to see new people come in and get the different perspectives and how we interpret, because everyone's different. And so I like walking around in the groups there.
Okay, good. I'm happy to have you. Okay, so
what was the R?
Receive.
Perceive.
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 Perceive. How to perceive things. Repeat or iterate. And in some language they call it iterate, but iterate. And retain. Retain. Retain.
Or retain.
Retain. R-E-T-A-I-N. And if you consider these models in anything you do, even at personal life, you will change. Believe me. Like when I'm late for some place and I will be perceived as a bad guy, I make a phone call, I text a message, I do stuff. Sometimes I'm just aware of this and it changed what I do, impacted. And the question always, the answer which we got from Sandy, how do we know exactly what people receive, what we meant? How do we know that, what they receive? By
Repeating.
asking questions. So if I want to confirm what did you receive, I have to ask you a question. If I want to confirm what you perceive, I have to ask you a question. If you want to retain or iterate, I can ask you questions. I want to know what you retain, I can ask you a question. That's why in your business, how many of you receive surveys after you get some services? And how long did you usually receive the survey? Like from the time you get the service?
Usually within 24 hours.
Usually, did you ever get a survey like a week later or 2 weeks later or 3 weeks or a year later? Never?
Sometimes airlines, they send it very late. So
Have you ever bought a car and you get a survey like 1 or 2 months after you bought the new car?
Yeah, that's kind of how our car is doing it.
Okay, because they want to know what's your retained experience, and each one of these you can upsell for. So if somebody got your workshop and they perceive that they did not work well with them, you can invite them to a complimentary workshop to work it out again, or you can give them free sessions to help them retain the right information. If somebody did not receive a good service from you, and you know right away what you do, you
modify your service.
You can work it out. That's right. And if somebody is Googling and looking for more information about you to repeat, and they found your website, what does it mean? You are an authority in this field. So when we talk about why do you need a website, because some of the people will repeat here, and they will search you out. And anytime you feel like you wanna know the experience, like I know in current events, we go there and she stand and say, who is here the first time, who is here for more than one time, or repeat. I don't even remember your exact question. And then she will say, okay, can you share your experience? So she's sharing experience of somebody retained after 3 months, because she's doing one event every 2 to 3 months. Somebody retained experience on her event. Okay? And if you hear what people receive right now, again, is what they retain, you will find is complete different things. So people will receive right now, yeah, it was fun, the layout was good, the standings, the talk, the whatever. When people they talk about here, they talk about the spirit of the event. It was inspiring, engaging, we get to know people, and we got introduced to new people. And if you ask them, can you list 3 names of the new people did you meet at this event? They will not even remember their names. But they have this holistic experience. We call it fuzzy, warm feeling experience. Because we came from engineering, so fuzzy means random, okay, like unusual. But this is what people need to retain. They need to retain a fuzzy, warm feeling that's your benefit. They benefited from your program. So you can ask them for more referral. Okay? This model actually is mine. I developed it after going so many workshops, and I show it to like Donna Dahl and these people in communications, 6 or 7, which I trust. As I say, we seen something similar, but we never seen something that much visual and so simple for people to understand. Yes, sir.
The other advantage of asking questions after a period of time is now you're top of mind again. So in the car dealership business,
the way we map it to be top of mind is when I ask you a question, I will transfer you to be in receiving mode. That's right. So the way we map top in mind is because when I ask you more questions here after some time, you'll be what?
Yeah.
So I can drive you a new perception. Oh, you know what? Yeah, we moved the dealership. We had this brand new whatever lounge over, you know. So the only way to impact this path is to control what people receive. When things will go south, real south, not America, okay? When people will go south here, you cannot fix it if you don't have a different receiving tone or different receiving mode. Okay? Many people will do service for us and they send us this thank you card. That's right. Sometimes they send you a thank you card or they just try to figure out that when you are in these areas, you talk about them. I wanna share with you an interesting story about this because it was a unique application to it. And the story will start with a question. If you are in a business and you have an employee who you wanna reward, will you reward your employee with a $10,000 check or $6,000 trip to Australia from Canada or New Zealand? When we do these workshops in Singapore, we talk about sending them to Canada and Alaska, okay? But from Canada, we say you want to send them to a $6,000 total cost, all inclusive, trip to New Zealand or Australia, including his wife. Which one, as a business owner, you decide to do? Give him $10,000 cash or send him to a $6,000 trip?
Trip. I would ask the client what's better, what they prefer.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome because when we don't agree, we have first to disagree. So it's $10,000 or trip for $6,000. So you said the trip. So, and one say we can ask. So why did you say the trip?
It will bring keep more long-time memories to them, their family, so that they will remember it.
Okay, so this is one answer. Is there any other
emotional?
Is there any other people who say because it's $6,000? Like in Hong Kong, when I asked this question, people said the trip because it's $6,000. So I had to go to a second level. I say, you know what? Okay, so assume we will make this one $6,000 and the trip is $6,000. Okay, this is where I was going early on, but you guys beat me up, okay? In Hong Kong, and when we deal with people who care more about the money, they will tell the trip for the money. You see what Ahmed said? The relationships, that's right. Remember the quadrant: relationship, money, time, and process or information. So Ahmed is doing fundraising and stuff for his own countries, and he talks about the people who have access to water and stuff like that. So he's more into the human side of the game. When you said trip versus money, he looked at the experience versus the money. On the other hand, the process guy will say,
ask questions.
Let's find a process so I can ask them what they like. Because he's a process over relation, he will ask them what they like.
But if they didn't know what was being offered to begin with, there would be nothing to ask.
Okay? Yeah, I understand.
So I'm actually speaking from experience. When I had staff, it would be foolish to give them a free pass to a golf course if they hate golfing versus a movie pass because they enjoy watching movies, right? So I would ask them what their hobbies were and find out more about them to
But you did that ahead of time. You didn't do that.
Same.
Yes, but the difference between a golf and a movie, that's trip to Australia over New Zealand is different. This is one of the unique trips which somebody in North America can do it only once. They may do it once in their life. It's somewhere we don't know. Actually, it's not much nicer than Canada, and people there are not nice. They are not nice at all. However, because they are far away, from. Sorry.
They were a bunch of criminals.
They're lovely.
I had a great time in both places. They were fantastic.
You were exploring, but overall, their crime rates and stuff are much higher than us. Okay. Anyway, the point I want to make sure you understand. Point number one is our reflection and our reactions is always driven by our behaviors, and there is nothing wrong, nothing good. We don't judge. Okay. We take this actually to accommodate you better, because when I want to talk to you right now, I will talk to you more about the relationship. I will not bore you with the other stuff. So we can use this to our advantage. Number two, advantage of this question, I want to highlight one thing. If you offer your employee, the top performer employee, a trip to New Zealand, how this can impact your business? again, is giving him $6,000 or some money upfront, and he will not go away. So he will not go away. He will be working for you because he just basically getting the cash bonus. That's right, HR? I have an HR expert, so she can correct me.
Yes.
Okay? So here he will stay at work for 2 weeks, and here he will go away for 2 weeks. And this is a bonus, so it's not counting from his statutory holiday or whatever holiday he's entitled for. Which one is better for my business?
Going away.
Stay.
He will come out fresh after coming from the holidays.
Okay, you see all of this?
Yeah.
These are different perceptions. He will come all fresh.
He feels valued.
Oh, he'll come with a hangover from Hawaii. He might get killed because of the crime rates.
What this can do for your business on this side, although it's loss of 2 weeks of productivity, with these people will go around and tell everybody in their family. And if you live in a smaller towns, and I hope this lady made it safely to Desperate.
She made it home, but I don't think she's coming.
Yeah. So when you be in a smaller community, they will relay the message about your business. So everybody else in the community wants to do what now?
They want to come work
for your company.
Okay. So from moral perspective and social, what do you call it? The social, when you try to make your business nice on the social side, what's it called?
Life balance?
Culture?
Yeah.
So from social responsibilities and stuff like that. When people go around here, if you want to promote, when these people will come back, what they will keep talking about it for 2, 3, maybe a month or 2. Some of them, if some of them will be like this feeler who will have all of her kids around her when she works and all of her family around her when she works in her cubicle, she will have the photos as well. So this will change the morale inside your workplace. Some people in your workplace will need to work hard, and the non-performers, they will go away because they will feel jealous. So you can clean out the workplace. You don't like this, but because you'll sell more contracts. But you can clean out the workplace behaviors by doing some of those. When I had startup companies, we cannot afford New Zealand, but we afford the comedy cave. So people who likes to go to comedy or night, we always send them for a free dinner on a comedy cave. And when I remember a couple of them in different years, they came and said, we went there and we didn't find anybody of the other employees. I said, yes, this was just special for you and your wife. We did not invite everybody. We just sent you for a special event. He said, oh, I thought everybody will be there, but anyway, we had the most fun of it. And so this can do lots of things.
It can bring up morale. It can bring up everything.
It can bring everything, okay? But remember also, it has the risk if any accident will happen over there. So if they are hijacked or they are retained by terror people in the middle, what will happen? It can also play negatively, okay? So everything we do, it has risk, okay? Any more discussions on the New Zealand Australia trip? I will
going?
Sorry?
When are we going?
I promise to organize a treat over there and let you know, guys, back. I have actually 27 niece and nephew, Australian by born. Because I have 5 uncles immigrated from 1968 till 1981. So I have a big family over there. So anyway, do you want to keep going or do you want to have a break? Do you want to have a break? Okay, so let's just have a break of...
Copyright 2017 Win Your Brand. All rights reserved. This video is subject to copyright owned by Win Your Brand. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this video is expressly prohibited, unless Win Your Brand has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved.